Good morning guys, Josiah here, and this morning I'm going to be telling you the basics of doing pour over. Today we'll be using a Chemex. That's one of my favorite ways to do it. It's good for multiple people, but since I'm just making coffee for myself this morning, I'm going to use less grams of coffee and by using the bigger vessel because most people like to use this one, but not many people know how to use it for just themselves. They get a smaller pour over system, if that. So this is the Chemex, 6-cup Chemex, and this is a Chemex filter. What I do first is I open it up. And we open up by one flap here. So make sure there's like 3 flaps there, 1 flap there. Tunnel it open like that, put it down. And I like to wet the filter. One, it helps keep it there, like that. And also it helps get away a little bit of that papery taste when you make your coffee. Our water is about 200 to 205 grams. That's what it should be at. So you just dump out the water, and usually that sticks to it. You want to try to keep that little spout a little bit open, so you'll see during this how we'll be doing that. Set it down there. You want to tear out your scale, make sure it's 0. I am using today a Ethiopia natural processed coffee that I got from Amity in Pena, New York. And I grind it to about a medium to fine size for this. So if you're using like a V60, you want a little bit finer size. If you're using a French press, you want a little coarser. But this is kind of your standard. If you don't use a grinder and you just grab a bag from the store, that's usually what the standard is. It may be a little bit more coarser than you would like it, but this is what we got. So you dump it in there. I'm using today about 30 grams. It's right in there. You want to flatten out your bed. This is called the bed, the coffee ground bed. And so we tear it out again. And the first step we do is the bloom. What I like to use, my standard rule for the bloom is I double what I put in there. So I put 30 grams, I'll put 60 grams of water in there, really slow, and let it bloom, let it air out, let the acid get out of there, and just let the coffee get wet before we go on to our flooding of it. So typically with this, if I'm gonna make it for 2 people, I'll use about 48 grams of coffee to 50 grams, and I like to use a 15-to-1 ratio. So every 1 gram of coffee, 15 grams of water. So today we're doing 30 grams of coffee, and we'll go up to 450 grams of water. Let's go. This again is the bloom. I'm just going to bring it up to 60 grams. You want to avoid any edges. You want to hit it right in the middle. A little bit of swirls. There we are, 60 grams. And you wait about 40 to 45 seconds for that. I like to get a little spin, a little twirl, just to make sure everything gets a little bit hit. And you wait about 45 seconds. So with standard Chemex, the filter, how it filters funnels it down. Sometimes people, when they start it, they like to make a little bird's nest with the coffee, so it goes in the middle and spreads out like that. I don't always do that, only sometimes, but yeah. We're hitting 45 seconds. What we're gonna do next is the flood. So if you're using 48 grams, you would wanna bring this up to 500. What we're gonna do today is just bring it up to 200 because I'm only using 30 grams. This is the flood, and you want to do a slow pour. They say slow is sexy. Bring it up to 200 grams, and there we are. You just wait it out a little bit, about 5 to 10 seconds, and we're going to do 40-second pulses. There we go. Or 40-gram pulses, I'm sorry. So bring it up to 240. About 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. 280. $320. Just hit 2 minutes. 60. We're almost there, about 100 grams away. I'm gonna grab a spoon real quick. Just a little tiny spoon if you have one. Bring it up to 420 now. Sorry, 400 I mean. And we'll end with the last 50 grams. We're at 2:45 in our time. We just hit 450. So we take the spoon, and you want to go around the edges. We just hit the 3-minute mark. And just give it a nice swirl, get everything in there and all extracted well. You don't want to do too much. Next thing I like to do, this is just preference, is I like to heat up my mug with my leftover hot water. And you just let that seep down. You watch it, you have fun. This should end, if you do 30 grams, should end around about 4 to 4:30 in your time. We just hit the 4-minute mark. If you're doing, for 2 people, you're doing 48 grams, that should end around like 5 to 5:30 in your time. Remember, slow is sexy. And here we are. To show that it had a real nice extraction, a lot of times, you'll get like that kind of dome look to it. It's a dome. And yeah, so then you just take out the bag. You don't want to squeeze the coffee into it. A lot of people will grab the top and squeeze the coffee down. What's being held in here, you don't want. Dump your hot water. There we are. Chemex pour over. Thanks for liking this video.